Dr. Hanju stared at her computer screen, her coffee growing cold beside her keyboard. The message on her screen made her heart beat faster. Unknown vessel in orbit. All xenobiologists report to main facility immediately. She grabbed her lab coat and rushed out of her small office at the Global Wildlife Research Center in Seoul. The hallways were filled with other scientists running around, some carrying stacks of papers, others clutching their tablets. Dr. Han called out her assistant. "The TV, you need to see this." On every screen in the building, the same image played. A massive silver ship, smooth and oval-shaped, hanging in Earth's orbit. It looked like a giant metal egg floating in space. Within hours, the first message came. The aliens called themselves the Stellar Research Coalition. They were scientists, they said, who traveled across the galaxy to study life on different planets. 3 days later, Dr. Han stood with other world leaders and scientists at the Global First Contact Center. Her hands were sweaty as she watched the alien ship land. It was smaller than she expected, about the size of a large bus. The door opened with a soft hiss. Out walked 3 beings that looked almost like tall, thin humans. Their skin had a slight blue tint, and their eyes were larger than human eyes. They walked carefully, as if Earth's gravity was a bit stronger than they were used to. The alien in front stepped forward. "I am Dr. Tak," he said through a translator device hanging from his neck. "Lead researcher of xenozoology for the coalition." His voice sounded pleasant, almost musical. Dr. Han bowed slightly. "Welcome to Earth. I'm Dr. Han Ju, head of the Global Wildlife Research Center." Everything was going smoothly until Dr. Tak's team started looking at their scanning devices. Their large eyes grew even wider, and they began talking quickly among themselves in their musical language. "Is something wrong?" Dr. Han asked. Dr. Tak turned to her, his face showing what looked like concern. "Your planet, these readings, they can't be right." He showed her his device, though she couldn't understand the alien symbols. "According to this, your planet has thousands of species that could be classified as living weapons." "Living weapons?" Dr. Han frowned. "I don't understand." One of Dr. Tak's assistants quickly projected a hologram showing a lion taking down a zebra. The aliens stepped back, their blue skin turning a lighter shade. "This creature," Dr. Tak said, pointing at the lion. "It has built-in blades in its mouth, devastating striking power, and can run at high speeds. Surely it must be engineered." Dr. Han tried not to smile. "No, that's just a lion. It's a natural species that evolved here on Earth. We have many predator species like this. Many." The third alien almost dropped his scanner. "You mean there are more?" Dr. Han nodded. "Would you like to see our database of Earth's wildlife? We have excellent documentation of all our apex predators." The aliens huddled together, speaking quickly. Finally, Dr. Tak turned back to her. "Yes," he said, though he sounded nervous. "Show us everything. The coalition needs to know about these natural weapons you have living freely on your planet." As Dr. Han led them toward the research center, she couldn't help but notice how they jumped at every bird call and rustling leaf. She had a feeling this was going to be a very interesting cultural exchange. Behind them, a squirrel ran up a tree. All 3 aliens flinched. This, Dr. Han thought, was just the beginning. The next morning, Dr. Han Ju sat in the research center's main viewing room with Lee Dury, one of the alien scientists. They were watching wildlife documentaries. But it wasn't going as smoothly as Dr. Han had hoped. "Please stop the video." Lee Dury's blue fingers trembled as she pressed pause. The screen froze on an image of a honey badger facing off against 3 lions. "You mean to tell me that this small creature actually fights these giant blade carriers and survives?" "Yes," Dr. Han said patiently. "Honey badgers are known for their bravery and tough skin. They're not afraid of anything." Lee Dury made a note on her tablet, her large eyes blinking rapidly. "And you say these creatures developed naturally? No genetic engineering?" None at all. This is just how they evolved. The alien researcher shook her head in disbelief. On our worlds, if a larger animal approaches a smaller one, the smaller one always runs away. It's the natural order. But here, she gestured at the screen. Everything fights back. They watched more footage. Each new animal made Lee Dury more amazed. When they showed her a wolverine chasing away a bear 10 times its size, she had to take a break to calm down. During lunch, Dr. Tak joined them in the cafeteria. He stared at his salad with suspicion, as if expecting it to fight back too. "Dr. Han," he said, "we've been studying your bears. We've classified them as living siege weapons." Dr. Han nearly choked on her coffee. Siege weapons. They're just bears. Just bears. Dr. Tuck pulled up a hologram showing a grizzly bear's statistics. They have armor-like fur, massive striking power, built-in weapons on all 4 limbs, and can even break into sealed containers. If these aren't siege weapons, what are they? They're just animals that evolved to survive in tough conditions, Dr. Han explained. They use their strength to find food and protect themselves. A young alien researcher named Kim Hyun, who had been quietly listening, suddenly spoke up. "Dr. Han, I think I understand why my colleagues are so worried." He turned to the others. "Remember, our homeworlds have no predators. All our animals eat plants. Nothing hunts anything else." The room went quiet. Dr. Han's eyes widened as understanding dawned on her. "You mean you've never evolved alongside predators? Ever?" "Never," Lee Dury confirmed. "That's why Earth is so shocking to us. Every creature here seems ready for battle." Just then, they heard screaming from the hallway. Everyone rushed out to find another alien researcher pointing at a small house cat that had wandered into the building. The cat was calmly washing its paw. "It has retractable blades," the alien cried out. "And it's just sitting there, showing them off." Dr. Han tried not to laugh as she picked up the cat, which started purring. "This is just someone's pet. His name is probably Whiskers or something similar." The alien stared in horror. "You keep these creatures in your homes?" Dr. Tak asked. "Of course. They're wonderful companions." Lee Dury made more notes, muttering something about humans taming living weapons for companionship. As Dr. Han stroked the purring cat, she realized this cultural exchange was going to be more complicated than anyone had expected. How could she explain Earth's complex ecosystem to beings who had never known what it meant to be either predator or prey? The cat meowed, making all the aliens jump back 3 feet. This was going to be a long day. The news spread fast through the alien scientific community. Dr. Han Ju-woo watched as more spaceships arrived in Earth's orbit, each carrying worried scientists who wanted to see these living weapons for themselves. Kim Hyun, the young alien researcher who seemed less afraid than his colleagues, sat with Dr. Han in her office, watching a live feed from an ocean research station. "What's happening now?" he asked, leaning forward with interest. "We're about to see orcas hunting," Dr. Han explained. "They're very intelligent marine predators." The screen showed a pod of orcas working together to create waves that would wash a seal off an ice floe. Kim Hyun's blue skin turned several shades lighter. They're using tactics," he gasped. "They're thinking. They're working as a team." Before Dr. Han could respond, alarms started blaring throughout the building. Dr. Tuck burst into the office, waving a communication device. "The High Council has seen the orca footage," he said, his voice shaking. "They're calling an emergency meeting. They think Earth's oceans are filled with organized warfare units." Dr. Han put her head in her hands. "They're just whales hunting for food. This is normal here." "Normal?" Dr. Tak's large eyes got even bigger. "There is nothing normal about battle squadrons swimming freely in your oceans." Kim Hyun spoke up. "Dr. Tak, I've been studying Earth's history. I think I know why we're so shocked by all this." He pulled up some diagrams on his tablet. "Look at our homeworlds. No predators, no competition, just peaceful plant eaters. But Earth," He showed images of different ecosystems. Earth is like a training ground. Everything here had to become tough to survive. Dr. Han nodded eagerly. Yes, it's called evolution through natural selection. Species either adapt or they don't survive. A group of alien scientists rushed past the office, all talking at once. One of them was watching footage of a hawk catching a rabbit. Did you see that? They heard someone shout. It attacked from above. They have air support. Dr. Han turned to Kim Hyun. Please help me explain this to them. You understand both sides. Kim Hyun looked thoughtful. On our worlds, life is gentle. No animal needs to fight or hunt. When we see Earth's creatures, we see weapons because that's what they look like to us. But he watched the orca footage again. Maybe we're the strange ones. Maybe life is supposed to be more like this. Just then, Dr. Tak's communication device buzzed. The color drained from his face as he read the message. The High Council has made a decision, he said quietly. They're officially classifying all of Earth's predatory species as Grade A bioweapons. They want to know if humans can control these creatures. Dr. Han stood up quickly. Control them. We can barely keep our house cats from knocking things off tables. That's not all, Dr. Tak continued. They're worried about Earth's prey animals too. They've seen rabbits kick, deer fight back, and even small birds defend their nests. They think everything on this planet is a weapon. Kim Hyun looked out the window, where a butterfly was floating past. 3 alien researchers were tracking it with scanning devices, probably checking if its wing patterns were some kind of battle signal. We need to help them understand, he said. Earth isn't a planet of weapons. It's a planet of survivors. Dr. Han watched as more alien ships appeared in the sky above. She had a feeling things were about to get even more complicated. In the distance, a wolf howled. Every alien in the building ducked for cover. Park Min-yu was the newest and most curious alien researcher to join the Earth study team. Unlike his nervous colleagues, he wanted to see Earth's weapons up close. This was why Dr. Han Ju now found herself in Australia, trying to talk him out of a very bad idea. Please, Park Min-yu, she said, wiping sweat from her forehead. The cassowary is not a bird you want to approach. But it's just a bird, Park Min-yu said excitedly. His blue skin gleamed in the Australian sun. On my world, birds are tiny and eat only seeds. I want to show everyone that Earth's creatures aren't as dangerous as they think. Dr. Han looked at the large cassowary in the distance. The big black bird was peacefully eating fallen fruit. Its blue neck and thick legs made it look like something from Earth's dinosaur age. That's not just any bird, she warned. Cassowaries have killed humans before. But Park Min-yu wasn't listening. He walked closer to the bird, holding out a piece of fruit. Dr. Tak and the other researchers watched from a safe distance, recording everything. See, Park Min-yu called out. It's perfectly safe. The cassowary's head snapped up. It looked at Park Min-yu with its fierce eyes. Then it charged. What happened next would become the most watched video in both human and alien social media. Park Min-yu screamed in his musical alien language and ran. The cassowary, its deadly clawed feet kicking up dust, chased him. The alien researcher jumped over logs, ducked under branches, and ran in circles, all while the angry bird followed. The tiny raptor is hunting him, Dr. Tak shouted. Quick, activate the emergency shields. It's not a raptor, Dr. Han tried to explain. And we don't have emergency shields, just nobody else move. Park Min-yu finally found safety in the research vehicle, jumping through the window. The cassowary, satisfied that it had defended its territory, went back to eating fruit. Within hours, the video was everywhere. Alien news channels played it with scary music and headlines like Earth's battlebirds attack peaceful researcher. Human channels played it with funny music and titles like Alien learns why you don't mess with Australian wildlife. Back at the research center, Park Min-yu sat wrapped in a shock blanket, though he wasn't hurt. I don't understand, he said. Why would a fruit-eating bird attack me? Because on Earth, even plant eaters need to be tough, Kim Hyun explained. He had been studying Earth's evolution with great interest. Everything here knows how to defend itself. Dr. Tech paced the room, talking urgently into his communication device. Yes, High Council, you saw correctly. Even their herbivores are combat-ready. No, we cannot confirm if humans are controlling them. Yes, we're staying away from all birds now. Dr. Han watched as more messages poured in. 3 alien species had already canceled their plans to start trade with Earth. They were too scared of Earth's wildlife. The strange thing is, Park Min-woo said suddenly, I'm not as afraid anymore. That bird could have really hurt me, but it just wanted me to go away. Maybe Earth's animals aren't weapons after all. They're just strong. Just then, they heard a loud thump. Everyone turned to see a kangaroo looking in through the window. All the aliens dove under their desks. Don't worry, Dr. Han sighed. That one's just curious. Curious. Dr. Tak peeked out. It has powerful jumping legs and built-in boxing abilities. As Dr. Han tried to explain that kangaroos weren't actually trained fighters, she wondered if Earth would ever seem normal to their alien visitors. 1 week after the cassowary incident, Dr. Han Ju-woo faced her biggest challenge yet. The research center's main hall was filled with holographic screens showing canceled trade deals and worried alien leaders. 7 species have now refused to trade with Earth, Dr. Tak reported sadly. They think we're too dangerous. One leader said, any planet that keeps tigers as neighbors cannot be trusted. Kim Hyun, who had been working late every night with Dr. Han, suddenly stood up. I have an idea, he said. We're looking at this all wrong. Dr. Han, can we show them the wildlife sanctuaries? Dr. Han's eyes lit up. Yes. Let's start with the panda sanctuary. They set up a live feed from China. The aliens watched as giant pandas lazily chewed bamboo and rolled around. Now these are clearly weapons too, one alien scientist said. Look at their powerful jaws crushing that hard plant material. But watch how humans take care of them, Kim Hyun pointed out. The video showed human caretakers feeding the pandas, checking their health, and protecting their habitat. The aliens fell silent. I don't understand, Lee Dury said. If Earth's animals are weapons, why do humans protect them? Because they're not weapons, Dr. Han explained. They're living beings who share our planet. Yes, they can be dangerous, but they're also beautiful and important. They showed more videos, elephant sanctuaries in Africa, wolf conservation programs in America, and even shark protection efforts in Australia. Wait, Park Min-woo said, his bruises from the cassowary incident finally healing. Humans swim in the same waters as sharks, on purpose. To study them, Dr. Han nodded. To understand them better. Dr. Tak watched a video of marine biologists tagging great white sharks. This goes against everything we believed, he said quietly. We thought Earth was a planet of weapons, but it's really a planet of balance. Kim Hyun finished. Everything here evolved together. Predators keep prey animals from eating all the plants. Prey animals develop speed and strength to survive. It's a complete system. Just then, a small mouse ran across the floor. Instead of panicking like before, the aliens just watched it. Even that tiny creature, Lee Dury noted, has probably survived because its ancestors learned to be quick and clever. Dr. Han smiled. Finally, they were starting to understand. But then a new message arrived from the Alien Council. Emergency, Dr. Tak read. Other species are secretly trying to study Earth's wildlife. They think we're hiding advanced biological technology. That's ridiculous, Dr. Han said. Everything here developed naturally. Yes, but think about it, Kim Hyun said. To societies that never had predators, Earth must seem like a planet-sized training ground for creating the toughest creatures in the galaxy. They watched more videos of Earth's wildlife. a lioness teaching her cubs to hunt, a young eagle learning to fly, a dolphin pod working together to catch fish. Maybe, Park Minu said, touching his bandaged arm where the cassowary had scared him, we need to stop seeing Earth's animals as weapons and start seeing them as teachers. Dr. Han looked at him in surprise. Teachers. Yes, they can teach us about survival, adaptation, and he paused, watching a mother bear fiercely protect her cubs, the strength that comes from facing challenges. The room grew quiet as everyone thought about this new idea. Outside, a group of birds sang in the trees, and for the first time, none of the aliens ducked for cover. Progress, Dr. Han thought. Small steps, but progress. Dr. Tak stood at the viewing window of the Wildlife Center, watching a family of raccoons figure out how to open a raccoon-proof trash can. Instead of being scared, he was taking notes with great interest. Fascinating, he said to Dr. Han Jiwu, who stood beside him. On my world, no animal would ever solve puzzles like this. They simply eat what they find on the ground. Earth animals had to get smart to survive, Dr. Han explained. Every challenge made them more adaptable. Suddenly, Kim Hyun rushed into the room, excitement clear on his blue face. Dr. Han, the council has given Earth a new name. He showed them his tablet. They're calling it the Forge. The Forge, Dr. Han asked. Yes, Dr. Tak nodded, understanding immediately. Like a place where metal is made stronger through fire, Earth makes its creatures stronger through challenges. He looked out the window again. We were wrong to call them weapons. They are survivors. The news spread quickly through the galaxy. Other alien species that had been afraid of Earth now looked at it differently. Soon, the research center started getting requests from secret scientific teams. Another ship wants to study Earth's wolves, Lee Dury reported, checking her messages. They say they want to understand how creatures become both strong and social. Park Minu, who now proudly showed everyone his scar from the cassowary incident, had become an expert on Earth's birds. Did you know, he told a group of newly arrived alien scientists, that some birds here remember human faces for years. They can tell friend from foe. Instead of being scared, the new alien said ooh with interest. Dr. Han watched all this with satisfaction. But the biggest surprise came when Dr. Tak made an announcement. The council has studied all our reports, he said during a meeting. They agree that Earth's wildlife isn't a weapon system. Instead, they want to learn from it. They're calling Earth an evolutionary marvel. What does that mean for us? Dr. Han asked. It means, Kim Hyun said excitedly, that instead of being afraid of Earth, the galaxy wants to understand it. Just then, they heard a crash from the cafeteria. They ran to find a raccoon had gotten inside and was showing 3 young alien researchers how easily it could open the new super-secure food containers. Instead of running away, the aliens were filming it and taking notes. Look at the problem-solving ability. See how it uses its hands. The creativity is amazing. Dr. Tak smiled. A month ago, they would have called security. Now they're learning. Later that day, Dr. Han found Kim Hyun teaching a class to alien scientists. On his screen was a picture of a honey badger. Yes, it can fight lions, he was saying. But think about what that teaches us about determination, about never giving up, no matter your size. The aliens nodded, taking notes instead of hiding under their desks. Outside, Earth went about its normal day. Lions hunted in Africa. Eagles soared over mountains. Octopuses solved puzzle boxes in the ocean. But now, watching from above, thousands of alien eyes saw something different. They didn't see weapons anymore. They saw inspiration. You know what's funny? Park Minu said to Dr. Han as they watched a spider build its web. We came here thinking we were advanced because our worlds had no predators. Now we realize we might have missed out on something important. What's that? Dr. Han asked. The strength that comes from facing challenges, he answered, gently touching his cassowary scar. Maybe that's Earth's real lesson to the galaxy. 6 months after the first contact, the Global Wildlife Research Center looked very different. Alien ships of all shapes and sizes filled the parking lot, and the hallways buzzed with excited visitors from across the galaxy. Dr. Han Ju sat in her office, looking at the new sign on her door, Earth Galaxy Wildlife Education Center, Director. She smiled, remembering how everything had changed. Kim Hyun burst into her office, his blue face glowing with excitement. Dr. Han, you won't believe what just happened at the penguin exhibit. Did they break into the fish storage again? She asked. Better. A group of alien children on their first Earth field trip saw the penguins swimming. Instead of being scared, they asked if they could learn to swim too. This was exactly what Dr. Han had hoped for. The fear was gone, replaced by curiosity. In the main hall, Dr. Tak was giving a presentation. On the screen behind him was a picture of a simple flower with a bee visiting it. Even Earth's smallest creatures teach us something, he said to the packed room. These tiny insects built entire civilizations before humans existed. They farm, they communicate, they work together. This is what we almost missed by calling everything here a weapon. Park Min-woo, now the head of the Birds of Earth program, walked past with a group of alien tourists. He had a parrot sitting on his shoulder. Yes, it can mimic our words, he was saying proudly. No, it's not a spy device. It's just very smart. The parrot squawked, making the tourists jump, then laugh. Lee Dury had set up a special program called Earth's Little Teachers. Today, she was showing alien scientists a hamster solving a maze. See, she said, even their smallest pets have survival skills. Watch how it remembers the path, stores food, and adapts to changes. Outside, in the new wildlife viewing area, alien families sat safely behind glass walls, watching Earth animals in their natural habitats. Children pressed their faces against the windows, their large eyes wide with wonder. Look, parent unit, one small alien called out. That squirrel is hiding nuts for later. It's planning ahead. Dr. Han joined Kim Hyun by the window. They watched as a mother fox taught her kids how to hunt. You know what's amazing? Kim Hyun said. 6 months ago, everyone would have called those fox kids weapon trainees. Now they see them as students learning life skills. Just then, a message appeared on all the screens. The Galactic Council had made a new declaration. Earth was now officially classified as a living laboratory of evolution. All species were encouraged to send their scientists here to learn. We've come so far, Dr. Han said, watching alien children drawing pictures of their favorite Earth animals. None of the drawings showed weapons, just beautiful, strong creatures. Dr. Tak joined them, holding a tablet showing new statistics. 20 new species have signed up for our wildlife education programs, he said proudly. And the best part, they're bringing their children. As if to prove his point, they heard excited alien voices from the cat petting area. It's so soft. Listen to the purring sound. Can we have one at home? The day ended with a sunset viewing session. Hundreds of aliens watched as Earth's wildlife prepared for night. Owls began their hunt, foxes emerged from their dens, and bats took to the sky. Beautiful, an alien child whispered, all of it. Dr. Han looked at her friends. Dr. Tak, Kim Hyun, Lee Dury, and Park Min-woo with his parrot. Together, they had changed how the galaxy saw Earth. Not as a planet of weapons, but as a world of wonders, where life had found countless ways to be strong, clever, and amazing. In the distance, a wolf howled at the rising moon. This time, nobody ran away. Instead, they listened, learning another of Earth's endless lessons.